2-1. What's going on, guys? Welcome once again to the owners meeting, the Wednesday owners meeting here at ClickTrack Profit. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Everybody here, and then of course everybody watching the recording, because if you miss this, which is bad, and when you miss these events, it makes unicorns cry. But if you do miss this, we always do record these and upload them not only to the owner section within your CTP members area, but also on YouTube as well. So a few things I wanted to talk to you guys about this week. A lot of it I've kind of touched on over the past couple of days, but I thought it was a really good refresher to help you guys really get fired up. I don't know if you were watching the conversation that was going on inside of Telegram earlier today, and the discussion was kind of about, the Brave browser, and certain websites didn't accept the Brave browser, and it got me reminding myself kind of how this industry kind of got into the pickle it did, and how to potentially snap out of it and really start pulling more people to these type of programs and advertising resources. So the Brave browser, this is just an example. The Brave browser is just basically Chrome. It's a Chrome shell. So Chrome works on everything. The problem is that a lot of these owners haven't updated their scripts. They haven't updated the plugins. They haven't updated their servers. They haven't updated the code, which will allow these sites to operate in this environment. Now, here's the truth of the matter. The industry and the internet have gone into 2019. A lot of program owners are still stuck in 10 years ago. They're stuck in 5 years ago. And it's a mentality that I think people need to break to really get out of that rut that they're in. So this would be the argument that you'll hear. Well, it costs just once. I want to write this down so I don't forget. I had this thing popping in my head. That's a tip. If you ever get an idea, don't think, I'll remember it later. Always write it down, because you'll forget it. I'm not that smart, so I know I'll forget it. So I want to make sure I remember this. But so we're looking at this. We're looking at these owners that are saying, okay, well, it's really tough out there for me right now, and I'm not making the money that I used to, and I can't justify updating the code because I'm not a programmer and I don't know this and I don't know. There's a million and one reasons why you can't do something with your business. But here's the big reason. The big reason is because what worked today may not work tomorrow. And you are going to have to stay, as a program owner, you've always got to stay one step ahead of the curve. You've always got to be proactive instead of reactive. And far too many times, owners sit back and say, well, I'll wait for someone else to do this for me, or I'll do this first. And they don't think big picture. They don't go, you know what, I've got to make this change. I've got to do this for my business, for my customers. Let's be brutally honest. A lot of I don't want to say just TE, but TE and viral mailer owners aren't the most proactive in the world. And the membership kind of goes along with them. And if the owners aren't leading by example, the members aren't going to want to make changes either. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing that people are very hesitant to change. So we saw this years ago with social media and social surfing and adding chat into surf and talking about how important it is to be in social networks and social media. Now we're seeing it with something as simple as keeping secured sites. I mean, to this day, there's still some sites out there that don't accept secured sites. It's like, you mean you're telling me that people can surf your website and look at unsecured sites? Like, I mean, it's a recipe for disaster. But this comes back to the fact that most owners don't do these maintenance things that are needed. And I saw it today with the discussion in Telegram, where there was basically the guy was saying, well, I don't use Brave because it doesn't work with some of these sites. It's not that the sites don't work with Brave. It's the fact that these sites have not updated their code yet, and they've not made it 2019 friendly. So this is this is something that I hope people, especially the owners, take, you know, action on, and don't just say, you know, yeah, I'll get it updated down the road, or when something happens, I'll do this. You got to stay ahead of the curve. You really, really do. It's really important. And if you are not protecting your code, protecting your servers, protecting your members, like I said, it's a recipe for disaster. So it's not that Brave doesn't work with certain sites. It's that certain sites haven't updated their code and they haven't got into 2019. So kind of a warning note to start. Really important to keep your stuff updated, man. Like, it's really, really important to keep your stuff updated so you don't run into the issues now where, you know, people are saying they're not going to use your site because it doesn't work with Brave. It's like, whatever. So, how you doing, Don?
I'm good, John. I'm good. Thank you.
Cool.
You know, a lot of it too is that most of us as TE owners are a lot of us are LFM owners, and we depend a lot on Josh, who is the coder, the owner, and sold us the script to
Right.
keep the script updated. And he's behind the times.
Yeah, and this sucks because it's like, you know, I don't know the inner workings of how that goes. Like, I'm not in any of the groups, the LFM groups or anything like that. But if I was a group of owners, I would just keep bugging them, being like, dude, you got to update this stuff. Like, I mean, this is where the internet is going. I mean, the fact that like unsecured sites can get approved, and then some sites that are secured don't even get approved on the checker. That's just, it's mind blowing to me. That is insane. And Google is now de-indexing sites that aren't secure. I mean, you know, I mean, this is just what's happening. It's got nothing to do with TEs or non-TEs. It's just a TE owner should be able to get their site secure and get their site up to code, right?
Well, yeah, that's what the what is it? GPDR is for, right?
Oh no, that's separate. That the GDPR is a email thing for databases and European customers and stuff. That's more emailing and privacy and stuff like that. I'm talking strictly just like the ability to use the site. Like, apparently this is I don't have any issues doing this, but some sites don't, you can't even access it on Brave because the code isn't up to standard. So you know, again, I don't put it on Josh, because at the end of the day, the owner needs to take charge, right? And the owner needs to say, this isn't where it needs to be. I got to take action and get it to where it needs to be.
Okay, so look at it from my point of view as an LFMTE owner of the script. I go out and I spend the money with a coder to get my site up to date, my sites up to date, to work with Brave or whatever other browser you want to use, or
right.
so to speak. And then Josh all of a sudden comes along, makes one change in everything, and bam, there goes all that money I've spent and it blown because he comes in behind and does a coding change.
So see, again, I don't know the inner workings of how it works, but I would just like, is there a reason how he can get in, or can you stop him from getting in, or like?
The script will update anytime you tell it to update.
Right.
And you have to update it to keep it, because you have to update it because he changes things so often,
Right.
or different rewards and things like that.
Right.
That, you know, that's the thing. So yeah, I could go out and spend $1,200 to get my sites coded for all this stuff, and then he comes back, makes one change, and it shoots the whole $1,200.
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure like if you hired a coder, you could stop access to the script. Like for example, Josh can do anything he wants to LFM. It's not going to affect CTP at all.
So
Right?
when I stop accessing or stop updating his scripts, then eventually that script will no longer work.
Well, the scripts will always work, man. I mean, is like I had the LJ script for a bunch of my sites for, I think it was programmed in 2002, and it was still on the site up until last year. So scripts will always work. It's the updating of the scripts, making sure it works. I think I see again. I don't know the business deal of how LFM works, and I do know that there's a one-click update where you do, but that's part of his management side of things, right? Like if you want to update it, you press the update and it does the
I
whole
would
thing.
assume, yeah.
So I'm not totally sure how it works. Personally, me myself, I would always go the route of being responsible for it all. You know what I mean? Like paying the money to get it so that I have full control over it. And no one can backdoor into my script and say, okay, I'm going to update it and then screw me. Like that. And it's never intentional. It's just the way Josh, I think, is just designed the management side of it. So he doesn't have to go to everybody's individual site. He can just say, okay, push the upgrade to the server. And if people upgrade it, it'll bring the new update up. That's just a management thing for him, so he doesn't have to worry about doing 200 updates. He can just do it once, and then everybody else can update as they see fit.
Exactly.
So myself, I mean, I would totally just have it to the point where I'm responsible for everything. Every update that I have is my own. But I understand the ease of use, and that's kind of what LFM has designed, an ease of use script that people can just press a button and it's good to go. But I personally myself, I would always go not custom per se, but more the ability to control everything. That's what I want.
I just saw Kurt come online. Hey, Kurt, congratulations, man. You're doing a great job on Aurora and Click Roads.
Yeah, man, Kirk's here all the time now. Kirk's like original. He's starting to become a superstar regular attendee here. Every week he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good. This is a quote I just read this week, and I thought it was really cool because it kind of goes with what we're talking about. It's from this book that I'm reading, Do Business Better, and this is what it said. It said, humans struggle with going against the grain. The herd mentality is a real thing. Think about it. Everybody think of the people that have, we'll use LFM, and it's not a dig at LFM. I'm just, because it's a brilliant business model, and I wish I thought of it. But look at how they have catered to an entire group of people that don't want the heavy lifting, right? I mean, this is business 101. If you can sell a business in a box and have it done for you, that there's few things people pay for in the world. They pay for done for them, so they don't have to do any work. Assemble, we'll assemble it for you. You don't have to. People pay for that, and they pay for access, like access to information, to people, et cetera, et cetera. So what LFM is a paid to, in a business in a box. Hey, buy this script. We have the mods where you can pick the mods you want, and there's your website, right? So this is the huge, not the herd. Well, kind of is like a big group of people that have this ease of access business model. That's brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. They have sold that business model to people. Hey, sell the shovels to the miners. Exactly, Sean. That's exactly it. Don't sell the gold, sell the shovels. And that's exactly what LFM is. It's a brilliant business model. Now, if you take everybody that's in the LFM kind of community, there's a few people that step outside of that. They go against the thing. And going against the thing, the mentality, is something that we just discussed. I mean, doing something so that you have full control and it's not as easy as pressing a button to upgrade everything and update everything. That's being outside of the herd. That is doing things completely different than what everybody else has done. And me and Blaine have talked about this for weeks now. It's everybody else does this. How do you do something a little different? And something as simple as that, man. I mean, it seems trivial. It seems almost boring, to talk about things like this. But if you had full control over it, you wouldn't have to worry about anybody pushing updates and wiping out your work. You're free to do whatever you want. You want to add a different mailer to the site, you can. You want to add a different tracking system to the site, you could. You want to add new features to the site, you could. There's so many different things you could do once you have full control. Absolutely, Sean. It sets you from being a follower. It's more of a leader, and this is a huge nugget in business. How you become a leader in something is when people look at you as an authority figure. Now, if you have a standard script that out of 100 people, 95% of the people are using that script, that's not setting yourself apart. That's just being another owner, right? And what separates you from that pack? From the pack, not packed. The pack is doing things a little bit differently. This is massive, man. I mean, this is the difference between for example, look at I Love Hits, the history of I Love Hits. Look at what that was. What was I Love Hits? I Love Hits was just a TE, man. There was nothing fancy about it. I would add new features here and there, and I would add this, and I did the start pages, and I did the surf ratios, and I did all these different things. But it was just a traffic exchange. It was like every other traffic. You looked at websites and people looked at your websites. That's all it was. What made it different, what separated it, was the brand and was me sitting on camera all the time or writing blog posts or being in the doing dances on camera. That's what made I Love Hits I Love Hits. It was not anything special. It was just a TE. It was just a plain Jane traffic. It was, in fact, on a script, like I said, the LJ script, that hadn't been updated since 2002. I mean, that's how long that script, it was the add-ons that I got done on it because I had full control. I had complete control. There was no pressing a button and someone would update it. There was actually a button in LJ that would have wiped out everything I did, and I got that coded out of the script. I actually hired someone to get rid of that button just in case in one of my drunken stupors coming home from the club back then, I wouldn't have been, pressed the button and deleted everything. That could have happened knowing the state of drunkenness I was in 10 years ago. But that's the thing. That is how you separate from just, it's just a TE, it's just a program, it's just a mailer, it's just a website. You get full control and it allows you to build what you want, how you want it. And that's a powerful thing. That is so, in marketing, separating, being the purple cow, man, separating yourself from the crowd is like what Sean said, it makes you be the leader. And that attracts people. People will be attracted to that. What sets XYZ traffic exchange over, BZF traffic exchange? A header? I mean, that's basically it these days, right? Like a header graphic. A picture of the owner maybe is a different, maybe the ad copy, there's a little bit more ad copy on one. There's nothing that separates them. You've got to do these things that may seem trivial, but really do separate. Oh, absolutely, Sean. I mean, that's one of the things that I did at I Love Hits. If you guys remember, I'm using me as a case study. If you remember, I actually put my phone number on the website 10 years ago. Like my cell phone number was on that website. Well, for the first few years, it was actually my office line. I had my office line set up. Then I had my personal phone number on the website. And then when TimTech came around, I had the 1-800 number for TimTech on there. There was phone numbers on a traffic exchange. Can you imagine a traffic exchange nowadays having phone numbers for customer support? I mean, it's just unheard of. But it separated me, and that's something anybody could do. That wasn't like rocket science. Like, hey, if you want customer support, give me a call. I'll help you out. Didn't cost me anything. You know, I think out of the decade plus that I had my phone number on my website, I might have got called like at midnight once. And it was a guy that was in like Europe or something and didn't know the time zones and stuff. And that was it. So it's just little things like that make a huge amount of difference. And it's, again, it doesn't cost anything for putting your phone number on, providing support, all this stuff, you know, answering support tickets as quickly as possible. All this stuff doesn't cost money. It's just a little bit of effort. That's it. And doing things a little bit differently. This is, yeah. So that's what I think about that. Also, I got more juicy stuff for you guys. You guys are going to freak out over this. So I talked about this the other day too. What's going on, Steven? Welcome. I talked about this the other day too, and I think it was yesterday? Yesterday's stream, I think I touched on it. The opportunity drying up thing. Now, everybody here was affected by PayPal, right? I mean, it's everybody. Even if you didn't get your account shut down, the fact that people stopped buying stuff in the industry every day hurt. Everybody was affected. But here, this is the kicker out of all of this. If, let's say, Don was buying products from me all the time at my website, right? And PayPal came and slapped me. Don still has the money, right? It's not like Don, the money dried up. Don just didn't have now a way to transfer me that money, and I didn't have a way to give him the product that he purchased from me. So this is a mentality thing, but it's a really big point for you guys to note going forward. I hear this all the time. The money's dried up. There's no money here. The affiliate marketing game isn't what it used to be. It's hard now because PayPal slapped everybody, and everybody still has the same amount of money, right? Like, whether or not PayPal shut my account down or not, if I was going to buy $10 worth of advertising, I still had $10 in my pocket. I just couldn't use PayPal now to transfer it to someone, or someone sending it to me, vice versa. So as a marketer and as a business owner, our job now is to think, okay, so the money's still there. Like, everybody still has the same amount of capital. It's not like we don't have the same amount. We just don't have it as easy as we used to. We don't have the PayPal blessing, right? So where's the opportunity? Well, obviously, you guys know what I think of crypto. I'm big on crypto, but there's also credit card processing payments out there. I mean, go look at Easy Hits for You. I mean, look at the different ways you can buy things on Easy Hits for You. It's insane. I think they have 5 different options. I mean, so again, the opportunity to make money is there. It's just people were very comfortable with PayPal. We were all really, really comfortable with PayPal. And when they took it from us, a lot of people turtled. And if you don't know what that means, they put sorry, go ahead.
Everybody can go out and get an Uphold account.
Absolutely. Uphold account, you can use crypto. Crypto's free.
Fund their Uphold account, buy some crypto, or buy some STEM, and then send me STEM. And I'll sell them anything.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's the money didn't dry up, right? It's the ease of use, the ease of me now. It's a little extra step. I mean, that being said, Uphold is pretty good, but PayPal was stupid simple. I mean, you set up a PayPal account, you linked it to your bank account, you're good to go. I mean, and that's kind of what Uphold is. There's a few extra steps depending on the country you're in, but we just have to go and find a new way to make that transaction happen. Crypto is there too. Not only Uphold, but you got crypto. You can act just like you said. You can send manual payments. People will need an API. I just found this thing yesterday, cryptocurrency payments or something like that.com. There's coin payments too. There's so many different options. We just had the easy button. Exactly, Sean. We had the easy button, and that's what PayPal was. It was great. While it lasted, it was fantastic. But we put all our eggs in one basket. So what happened is everybody turtled as soon as the issue happened. Everybody turtled. We got really comfortable. Oh, I don't want to get hurt. So we put our head in our shell, and we don't do anything. We just sit there. And that's what happened. So this is a message for owners that are looking to get fired up again. and get business rocking again, you've got to remember the money is still there. It's just now we've got to find ways to be able to send and receive easier. And to me, crypto, some people can get Stripe, other people can't. Coin payments is there. Some people can get it, some people can't. Uphold, I think I've already mentioned Uphold, but there's tons of ways now. It's just you might need to offer more options, right? It's not the one size fits all that PayPal was. Now it's, someone might not feel comfortable with crypto, so get the Uphold where they can pay via credit cards and stuff, or Solid Trust Pay, or some of these. There's other ways out there. It's it might not work one size fits all, but we can find our own way to cater to these customers. We had a good with PayPal, but you know what? PayPal has played the ignorant card, and it is what it is. But don't for a second think that you can't make money anymore. And don't for a second think that if someone doesn't want to buy something from you, they won't, because they will, and they will find a way. It's our job as marketers and as owners to get those ways open for our customers as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. And if you do that, you're good. Because I'm beating a dead horse here, but the money did not dry up at all. It's still there. So we got to get out there and figure out how to make it.
Speaking of drying up.
Yes, sir.
How long do miners last?
Miners? Like the
Right.
CTP miners? Forever.
Yes.
Forever.
So
Forever.
they never expire?
Unless you unstake them. That's the only way they expire, if you unstake them.
Well, that's what I mean. If you stake them, which I've done,
You're
then
good.
how long does it take for them to play out?
They don't expire. They don't expire at all. No. Best 26 cents you can spend. That's the price of a miner these days, 26 cents. I don't know if you guys saw, but I did a survey recently, and I wanted to go over the numbers with you guys so I want to be completely transparent and let you guys know a few of these numbers. And the marketer in you should be fascinated by this, because I know I was when I read all this stuff. So the overall feeling. So the first question was the overall feeling of CTP. We had 55% of people said they loved it. 34% said it still needed work. I screwed up. I should have said what needs work, but no one answered me. So, and then there was other. It said they loved it, and so generally, let's say 55 to 60% of the people surveyed said they absolutely loved CTP. The other 35 to 30% said that it needed work, but they didn't really tell me what. That's my fault, though, for not asking. 59% of people are enjoying the list building training. So list building is a big part of CTP, and pretty exciting that, 60%, 60% of people absolutely loved it. 24% said it was good, but it needed to be improved. And then 10% people said it was nothing they didn't know before, which is funny to me. But
that's really stupid, John.
Well, this is my thing, and me and Blaine joked about this the other day. It's like, okay, well, if 3 people, so it was 3 people, so 10%, we've got about 30 answers so far from the survey. So 10% of the people said that, they already knew everything. It's like, okay, well, where's all the list building stuff? Where's the 3 people that knew everything? Where are they doing this? Because, there's no big initiatives here to push list building. I don't see it, at least. But whatever. I mean, it is what it is, right? That's just people's feedback. This is the thing about surveys. They're fascinating answers.
When you had the old CTP going, the Quick Track Profit going, and you had all that stuff in there, I came in late. So I was going through the training and stuff, but there was just so much there.
Right.
It was so outdated and stuff like that it was just useless to continue to try and do anything.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and this is why we wanted to start fresh. Like, have list building number one focus here in CTP, right?
And just keep them updated too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be updated. We're always going to make sure that it's fresh, updated. And that, I think that's good for any program owner to always, keep their stuff updated all the time, fresh stuff all the time. You don't have to revolutionize the stuff, just keep it fresh all the time. 57% of people really enjoyed the content marketing training. 36% said that it was good, but they needed more. So that was cool. 86% of people surveyed knew that they could get paid with CTP Talk. So they could get paid for blog posting and et cetera, et cetera. 3% of the people said they didn't know about it, and 3% said they knew about it, but they never used it. So if you don't like free money, that's fine. 46% said that they loved they were enjoying the live webinars. 18% said that they did not know about it and they'd be attending later. And then I had some feedback from people saying it was just different times of the day, so they couldn't make it, but they were watching the recordings, which is cool. Now, for you guys in Mastery, for everybody in Mastery, we had 64% of people said it was awesome. They absolutely loved it. 14% said that they had not yet started on it, but they were going to. And then comments, came back saying that people were really excited about Mastery, and they thought it was a huge addition to CTP. So that was good. That made me feel good, because it was like, holy moly, donut shop. Mastery was kind of it was our bread and butter that we really wanted to show for people. So that's good. 64% of people saying it was awesome. They loved it. So that was good. Then I asked the question, what was your favorite new feature of CTP? And I hope you guys are seeing why I'm also sharing these numbers with you, not only to give you guys numbers, but also a good idea to go to SurveyMonkey and survey your own members so you can get feedback from them. The big feature that everybody loved was CTP Talk. 43% of people loved CTP Talk. 18% loved all the new training. 7% loved the Gauntlet. 11% loved the LCP Builder. And 5% each loved Badge Hunt, Scavenger Hunt, and then there was others. People loved the Scavenger Hunt, the new training, and Mastery. That was actually an answer. So they loved the Scavenger Hunt, new training, and Mastery. And then someone said everything. So that's pretty cool. CTP Talk is very popular. So it shows content marketing is being talked about a lot inside of CTP, which is great. Here's something that's interesting too. If you guys are looking for social media and where you should put your effort in, 41% of people absolutely loved Facebook. That was their go-to. So they loved Facebook. 21% preferred Twitter. 14% preferred YouTube. 7% preferred Instagram. And then there was a couple of votes for Steam. So yay, Steam. Steam is still there. But Facebook, number one. That's pretty cool, man. Facebook tells me that that's a spot that owners, not only myself, but you guys should really concentrate on. Twitter and YouTube, definitely, but Facebook was king in this type of audience. So that's really cool. And then I asked, we had 76% of people polled said that they were already upgraded in CTP. And then we had 18% of people saying that they are not upgraded because the price was too high, which was interesting because I always thought the upgrade prices at CTP were cheap. But then we had a bunch of people saying that they haven't upgraded yet, but they plan on it. So that's the number so far, and it's about 2 days since we started the poll. I just emailed for it tonight, but that's something you guys can do right now for all of your. You can go to SurveyMonkey for free and set up a little survey that will help you kind of get feedback from your members on what they like, what they don't like, what needs to be improved, what they're really enjoying. But the numbers there were massive for me. I loved that the general population loved what was going on. The majority of the people loved CTP Talk. They loved Mastery. They loved content marketing. They loved the list building training. So even if there was a couple answers there that kind of hurt your pride and hurt your ego, generally as a whole, everybody is very happy with CTP. So that tells me that we're on the right path. We cannot sit on our laurels. We can't sit and be relaxed. We've got to keep going and keep improving. So I would recommend for you guys a little tip going forward. Go to SurveyMonkey. It's free. You can set up a little survey, send it out to your members, send it to your lists. Remember, you want to pull people towards you, and surveys help you pull people. You pull people towards you, you ask them questions, you'll get great feedback, and you'll develop relationships with people, and they'll appreciate the fact that they're actually being asked questions. So that's a technique there for you guys to use as well. So let me just make sure that. Yeah, that was kind of what I wanted to discuss today. Any questions about that? Any comments? Anything you guys want to rant about or rave about? Or how about this? How about questions relating to the content? After that, we'll stop the recording so that the people on YouTube and training don't get swear words thrown at them. I'll stop the recording now, because then we'll just do question and answer. So thank you guys for watching the recording. You can come live and listen to Swear Words by Don later. Toodles.